Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Carrie with Sims and Dragons and today we are doing the July TBR. Alright, so for the month of July you will see that we have extended the games and the challenges and all that. So first off we have Booktuber Bingo, we have Books of Paradise, which I need to update Books of Paradise with June's reads because I haven't updated it yet. Then we have the Lord of the Reeds, of course, and the game of TBR. Those, since I enjoyed playing them and the game of TBR is an active board game. Then we have the Trail Challenge, which I've already picked the books for this coming month. And then we have Herkyed 1.0 and 2.0 starting on the 7th. Hopefully I will get a video recorded and edited before this one comes out. That way you guys get more information on that as well. And then we have a new game that will also go with Herkyed 2.0, if memory serves. I don't believe it goes with 1.0. And that is the TBR Game Changer. Alright, so first thing is first, I'm going to go over the TBR so far, and then I will go over, and then I will go ahead and go over, or start the games. So first things first, my Fable Club is starting a new book series, and that is the Dresden Files. So the first book is Stormfront. This is a reread for me, but I absolutely loved it. It is not that girthy. But unfortunately, it won't count for either Herkyed 1.0 or 2.0. But it will get me my Fable start. I'll be able to start a whole new series, restart the series, and then keep up with it as the year progresses, which will go towards Herkyed 1.0 and 2.0. So the next one was going to be our TBR trail. We had that live stream on the 22nd. So we got to pick our books then. The first book was to read a fantasy book, which I have chosen, A Day of Fallen Night. It will be glad to get this over with so I can read A Priory of the Orange Tree. I'll be sad to see it go, happy to see her walk away. That being said, she also does not count for Herkyed 1.0 or 2.0 because I started her in January, and those have to be started after January 7th. The next book I have actually counts for 2 prompts. The first one was to have a white cover, and then the second prompt was to have a white cover, and then the third one was to have something to do with battle, the battleground, the battlefield, things like that. Luckily for me, my boyfriend is absolutely amazing, and back almost a year ago, I started reading the Black Jewels trilogy. I only had the first book, because I didn't want to buy a whole bunch of them and then not know if I'd enjoy them, although I am known to do that. But he is absolutely amazing and bought me an omnibus of the first 3 books. And of course it has a white cover, and then the third book apparently has a war in it, which I didn't know. So that is awesome. I'm really excited to continue this series. This is an actual series, it's not just a trilogy. But I'm really excited to continue. The next one, I have trouble with this particular prompt because I don't always know what this genre goes with. So the prompt was magical realism. I had thought that Stormfront would cover it, but I was unfortunately mistaken what magical realism is. So I chose instead, I looked it up and I chose instead that The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, turn that the right way, there we go, actually counts as magical realism, which I didn't know until yesterday, so here we are. We are finally going to read this. I understand that it is also very, very sad, which not so great on that front, but, good cry never hurt anyone. Sorry guys, you're going to see the camera moved a little bit. I had some vibration issues with my desk. So the next one was a free pick. We were challenged. We won 2 out of 3 on the challenges. And so trying to keep my TBR down, again, I chose Stormfront once more. So Stormfront is part of the 6 for the TBR trail as well as Fable. And last but certainly not least is a game to continue, or is to do the challenge, and since my challenge is to try and lower my currently reading on Goodreads from the 14 that it is to 1 book, I chose a book that's actually been very difficult for me to get through. It's a good book, it's just difficult for me to get through. And I chose this one. It's not a very well-known book. It's called Providence, and then I believe it's pronounced Kairos. And I found this author on TikTok. I saw some of her stuff she was posting quotes for her second book, which got me interested. So I picked the first book up, and like I said, it's been very difficult for me to get through. I am enjoying it, but there are those moments, guys. All books have those moments that sometimes you just don't enjoy them, and this one has them for me. Alright, so the first game we're going to play is the Lord of the Reeds, the Two Libraries. Hopefully, this will be kind. Because as you guys are probably very much aware, sorry, I don't have speakers, so I have to turn my headphones on so I can hear the noises. I love the noises in this game. She did really great with this game. There we go. But as you guys know, that this game sometimes is not so kind, sometimes it is. So we're hoping for kindness today. First off, who is our companion? It's going to be Mary. What does Mary do? Allows you to reuse one book. I'm going to limit that. Well, but I reuse books all the time. Maybe it means a completed book, so it's like a reread, but I don't want to do a reread. Oh well, we'll see. We'll see. Alright, first roll. 9. Why does that scare me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gosh darn it! Alright. First roll. And we're going back. I'll be right back with a book from my physical TBR. Alrighty, so that took a while. So apparently what I did is not apparently, but what I did is I just randomized my shelves and randomized the number of books on those shelves, or piles. And the one I picked was The Last Battle by C.S. Lewis. Unfortunately, I am not on that book. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and start this series over. That way I have a fresh memory of everything that happened, but I don't own the first book. So I feel like it'd be wrong to do this particular one with getting a book from the library because it's supposed to be my physical TBR. So what I could have done is just reread Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. But again, I want to read it in chronological order, which means I need The Magician's Nephew first. So I re-rolled and I got Slave to Sensation by Nalini Singh. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing this name. Apparently I put in to potentially win a book, and I won the book, and I was very shocked. I mean, like, I don't even remember signing up to win this book, but I know Goodreads has a whole bunch of, enter to win, this book that yours on your TBR is going into a giveaway, and I guess this is where that came from, because this came from Penguin House, and I have not been on their website in a number of years. So, this is an amazing author. I have read 4 or 5 books of hers already. Granted, all from the same series, but I've read them and I've enjoyed them immensely. So I'm actually really looking forward to Slave of Sensation. Alrighty, on to the next roll. Alright, so 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're still not past that Dead March, which I don't like. But let's see what card we get. The Mines of Moria. Read a thriller. I don't own a thriller. I don't think I own a thriller, which is unfortunate, but I do have thrillers on my TBR. I know that. And I don't... Let me just double check. So I do not have that one, so I can go ahead and... Let me go ahead and find a thriller. Hopefully I own it, but I probably have to get it from the library. So luckily for me, I did own the book that I ended up just picking a random number. I went to a list on Goodreads and I picked a number between the ones that I had listed as want to read, and the one that was chosen was Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. I did not know this was thriller, but it is a classic, which goes towards the challenge that I have for myself for Hercule 2.0, which is to read more classics. Again, I did not expect this to be a thriller. I'm excited to read it. I have been wanting to read it. It was already on my TBR, but I just didn't know it was going to be on there, or it wasn't going to be on a thriller list. So we'll see if I agree with it being a thriller or not. But yeah, Brave New World. Alrighty, for the next roll, be higher than a 2. 3! Alright, we're going good. 3. Another card! Give me the cards. Pick a card, any card. Minas Tirith. Read a book that has a building on the cover. Alrighty, so the book I chose for Minas Tirith, which has to have a building on the cover, is Stormfront. As you can see in the background here, there is buildings. It takes place, I want to say, in Chicago? Yes. It takes place in Chicago, so it takes place as an urban fantasy, so hence the buildings. So I'm actually excited this has gone into all the TBRs so far. So we're keeping it as small as we physically can. Unfortunately, I just haven't been able to do it quite so well. On to the next roll. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is another card. Alue? Read a mythology or a book inspired by mythology. I have a book that this could work with. Give me a second. Alright, so the book I chose that has read a book, mythology book or inspired by, the book I chose was The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. This is definitely inspired by mythology because it has Zeus and Hades and all the big 12 of the Greek gods in this book, and it's, I assume, being heavily inspired by Greek mythology just based on the characters. I could be wrong, but it does have mythology in it, so it counts. Next roll. Don't be a 4. Don't be a 4. Well, not exactly what I would like, but you're not a 4. There and back again. Read a memoir or autobiography. I don't own any of those. Alright, give me a moment to get a memoir or an autobiography. So the book I chose for There and Back Again was A Diary of a Young Girl. Obviously I do not own this book because I'm not holding it, but I have borrowed it from the library. Hopefully it will be, I think it's a physical book because I don't think I can get ebooks and audiobooks from this particular library the way that I would have to listen to them. But yeah, so this has been a book that I've been wanting to read for a while, so hopefully I don't get too much in front of her, and I'll be able to read the story of Anne Frank, which is definitely going to be a sad book. On to round or roll, was this 5? Good grief. 11! Thank you! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? No. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, yes. Okay. We're good. Next is Shelob. Read a book told from a first-person point of view. Alright, so the book I chose for a first-person point of view, or Shelob, is Providence. Again, hopefully I'll be able to get to this. Again, this is a challenging book for me to read through. I don't know why it's so challenging. Like I said, I really do enjoy it. It's just, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, so Shelob is Providence, Kairos, by Anarin Arsenis? I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing her name horribly. Alrighty guys, we are not out of the woods yet. We still have one dead marsh in front of us. 3. 1, 2, 3. The Light of Arundel's Star is a mood read. That's hard to do now. Honestly, my mood read right now is That's a Day of Fallen Night. I really want to finish it. Alrighty, so for the mood read, I know that this isn't normally how a mood read is supposed to go. But for the mood read, I chose A Day of Fallen Nights. Just because, again, it's kind of just what I'm in the mood to read right now, and as of right now, I'm really excited to finish this book. Alrighty, on to roll 7. Ah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yay! Pick a reward! And you guys probably know exactly the book I'm going to pick. And yes, it is back. The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. I am really wanting to finish this book as well. So yeah, she's back. Alrighty guys, here is our game board for a game of TBR. I've zoomed in and gotten to the part of the game board that I'm actually on. As you can see, we got some books on here. I'd forgotten that one of the books I'd read in May, The Blood and Secrets, counted for this. So when I started here, I made it a little more difficult. Made it a little more difficult for myself. But here it is. I have 2 books on there, so now we are starting here with where I left off with The Damned. So give me a momento. Alrighty guys, here we go. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Buy new book. I don't have the money to buy a book. How about I change this up, because I don't have the funds to buy a book right now. I have to save up for a surgery. So I'm going to roll, because this has a G under it, so I'm assuming that that means genre, which goes to this guy right here. So I'm going to roll 1 through 10, and we're going to see what genre I need to read, and I will do my best to get it to be the closest 8. I'll do my best to get it to be like the newest book that I've read. 8 is romance, right? Yes. So let me see if I can find a new romance that I bought recently. Alrighty, so lucky for me, I have a page that's devoted all to my transactions that I've bought this year. And the last one I have that qualified also as a romance as well as a fantasy is Trial of the Sun Queen by Nisha J. Tooley. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Yeah, so this one counts as a fantasy romance, and I'm actually kind of excited for it. I don't even remember what it's about, but just reading the first thing is 10 women, a deadly contest. Only one can win the Sun King's heart. It is going to be like The Selection. It's going to be like the story of Esther from the Bible, where there's a contest and a woman has to win the heart of the king or the future king. This one is a king. And shenanigans will of course happen. So I'm really excited. Alrighty, for our roll number 2, a 7. We are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. TBR game. Alright, TBR game. I could do the same one that I did last month, which was the booktuber bingo, and have it be Handmaid's Tale again, which I've decided I'm going to do. So once again, the Handmaid's Tale is back on the block. Alrighty guys, whoop, didn't get my dice up. Roll number 3, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Series or author repeat. Ooh. Alrighty guys, so I have a wheel here, as you can see. As you can see, I have a wheel here. This is the wheel of all the series that I'm currently reading. So I'm going to spin it. Oof, that is such a lag. All American Girl by Meg Cabot. Give me a moment. Alright guys, so Meg Cabot is an author that I've been reading for quite a while. I've started with The Princess Diaries back in my teens, and have been off and on reading this series that she has come out with. All American Girl is the first book of her All American Girl duology, and the second one is Ready or Not. I liked the first book. I'm not going to say loved. So I'm hopeful that this one is going to be absolutely amazing. I've enjoyed most of Meg Cabot's books. Actually, I think I've enjoyed every single one that I've read. I've really enjoyed her books. So highly recommend this author. But yeah, so All American Girl. Alrighty guys, roll number 4, 10. Alright, so we were here. Yes. Yeah, okay, so we were here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so we are here right now, so I'm going to roll my dice again. 1 through 5 will go one way. Alright, let me pull up my game board here. 1 through 5, we will go this way. 6 through 10, we will go downwards. Either way, we're going down, but you know what I mean. 7. And that was a 10. So let's see where I was. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Holy monkeys. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Does that say random emoji? It is. It is a random emoji. I can't see the other word. Random emoji. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I guess, find an emoji generator and roll an emoji. Alrighty guys, I am on the website of Perchance here. We're going to type in one emoji and we have a bull. A bull. So maybe it has... I kind of want to see if I can roll again. I don't know what that could do. I'm going to do it again. Okay, food. I can do food. Let me find a book that has something to do with food. One I picked to go with an emoji, the emoji of the fork and the knife, was called Sweet Success by Susan Mallory. As you can see, it has some chocolates on here. It's an irresistible novel of love and chocolate. So, she ain't that big. Hopefully we can, hopefully I can use her. Or not use her. Hopefully, you know, she will, be a good little short read for me. But yeah, Sweet Success. Alrighty guys, final roll. 6. Here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. M or M choice. But as we know, I'm going to be doing either the highest rated or the lowest rated book on the TBR. So let me... Okay, so here is our coin flipper. I have not flipped it yet. It just automatically flips. So heads for the highest rated, tails for the lowest, and it is tails. So... Alrighty guys, so as you know, I had the lowest read. I accidentally pulled this book, which also happens to be the lowest rated book on my TBR that I can physically find, or just find in general. I accidentally pulled this book last month from the library. It's back. The Golden Key, come on. That way, yes. So The Golden Key by Marion Womack is back. Hopefully I will get to this month. It's supposed to be, you know, mystery, historical fiction. So, I mean, it seems like it's interesting, which is why it's on the TBR, why it hasn't left my TBR. So hopefully, I'm hopeful. I can be hopeful, right? Alrighty guys, so the next game I'm going to do, I know, we already got a lot of games going, but the next one I'm going to do has to do with Herkia 2.0. And that is going to be the TBR Game Changer, I think she called it. This is QWERTY's TBR game from a while ago. I don't know how long ago, I'm going to be honest. So we're going to roll it, and then I have to play the game. I have to play the game. We're going to go with that. I have to play the game, but I'm not allowed to change the game until I finish all the books. So instead of it being like, if I don't complete it, that's it for that. I have to try again the next month. Those books from this game will be rolled over to the books for the next month. So, rolling. Now it's going to tell me when to play. Here's the TBR thing, by the way. Because the games aren't that easily playable, I'm going to find one that I know is, and I have been wanting to play. So give me a moment, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, this took me a little bit longer than I would have liked it to. Hold on. There we go. This took me a little bit longer than I would have liked it to, but I found a game that I really liked, and I kind of wanted to, I guess, emulate in my own game, and that is Dungeon of Books. Let me put this closer so you guys can see. Dungeon of Books. And it's like a Dungeons and Dragons type of thing, to where you pick your race, your class, your background alignments. The way that she does it is a little differently than how I'm probably going to do it, but we will see. So let's go ahead and fill her in. So the first one is going to be the month. We're going to do July. These will probably not all get read in July, but again, this is part of the TBR Game Changer, which means it's specifically about reading the books. It doesn't have to be in any particular month. So the first one we're going to do is pick a race. So here you'll see the different races that she has for her game. I'm going to roll a 1 through 8 on the number generator, which I am pulling up now. So I will roll a 1 through 8, and we will see what we get for our race. Oh, number 1. So it's going to be a dwarf. It has to have a brown, gray, black on the cover. So I'm going to write it here. All right, so the next one is going to be our class, which is here. So this is going to be a little different than what we're used to with a TBR game. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 12. So let's pop that in here. Generate 3. 1, 2, 3. Project books only. So I guess we have to get as many project books. What does she count as a project book? So what I'm going to say for project book, oh no, I think we're supposed to, I think we're supposed to roll these first and then pick the books. All right, so I'm going to write it here. Okay, so I'm going to roll what I need to roll, and then I'm going to go back to it. So the next is going to be background. Here we go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 10. So guild artisans, to create something. So this one, the background is going to be like an activity to do for the month. So I got guild artisan, so I have to create something, which kind of goes in line with what one of the things I'm really wanting to do. So fun times. Next is alignment. We have 9 alignments. And we chose 8, so 9 8s. Chaotic Evil. Roll a d6 after setting your TBR. You cannot read that book. Alright, so the first thing, you'll see there are other... Sorry. There are other ones here as well. So this first one right here. Sorry about my horrible handwriting. This one right here is going to be a series. So I have my series wheel back up, and we will spin. Again, guys, sorry about the lag. It does not like recording and doing this at the same time. Guild Hunter! That is awesome. I actually really love this series, so I'm going to write in. Alrighty, so as you get, I've already borrowed the book for Archangel's Legion, which is the next book in the Guild Hunter series, which I, again, am super excited to finally continue. I'm actually very excited that the library has a physical copy, because I've started with physical copies, and I prefer physical copies. What can I say? So the next roll, this guy right here, is going to be audiobook. I think it's supposed to be audiobooks you own, but I only own 1 audiobook. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count my ebooks in there. I'm wondering if that's a good idea. Well, so it's basically, I'm going to flip a coin, and we're going to do our random coin flipper that's on here. And it's going to be between the 2 books. It's going to be the one I own, and then the one that I borrowed from the library. So I can't, okay, so either way, I'm going to flip it again, because I don't want to see what it says. Heads, it's going to be the one I own. Tails, it's going to be the one that I've borrowed. Heads. Alright, so now I have to remember what audiobook I own. I got it so long ago, and I have never finished it. Alright, so the book I have that I own is called Ep and Wild by Crystal Smith. It is the 3rd book of a trilogy. So it is the final book of the series. I'm actually going to have to start it over, because I don't remember anything that was going on in it. But yeah. So, next we are going to get to kind of the fun part in my mind about D&D, which is the finding out like all the stuff about your character. Alright, so I have my d20, it's rolling, we're ignoring this roll. So first we're going to roll for strength, which was a 7. And that prompt is a high rated book. Alright, so let's go here. My books. I'm gonna go to average rating. And this time we're looking for the high rated books. So we have a few. Alright, so for this one, I am since I put running back on my TBR, it is back to the tippy top of my TBR. Because it is a highest rated book, because there's not very many people who have rated the book. So running is back in the running. It is going to be added into the TBR this month. Okay, so running by Cara McKay, back in the TBR for strength. Next is going to be dexterity. 15. 15 is a random number audiobook TBR. Okay. I have 6,496 books on my TBR. I only have one other that's specifically audiobook. So since I only have one other that's specifically audiobook, I'm going to be adding A Princess in Theory back into the running for this month because it's the only other audiobook that I know for sure that I have. That being said, I know that I have other books. I know that a majority of these books that I have also have audiobooks, but this is the only one that I have a copy of right now, so it's jotting back in. Next is going to be a Constitution roll. 5. A mystery or a thriller, which we already got. So for the mystery or thriller with our Constitution roll, we have Brave New World back again. It also has a gray background, or gray everything really, so it also covers our dwarf prompt. So we have dwarf covered. The project books only. In my mind, I'm kind of covering project books because these are books that I've already started reading or that were already on the TBR. So that's that. So next is going to be our intelligence roll. This is going to be literally, this for her was like a list of books that I guess she wanted to read. So I'm going to go ahead and roll. 1 is going to be the TBR jar or the wheel. 20 is going to be a free pick. So for intelligence, we have a 9. So what I could do is just count number 9 on the books I have here. Alrighty guys, so I got lucky. The 9th book on the list of not only my current reads, but my TBR is the Black Jewels trilogy books. So Heir to Shadows is on this TBR as well. So we are still doing good with our project books. Alright, so next is our wisdom roll. How wise are we? An 11. So that was a beloved author. I actually have a list. I actually have a list here, as you can see, of favorite authors, 10 and 25 that I want to read. So this is everything from my TBR trail TBR thing. So I'm going to roll a 1 through 10, and that is going to determine... Here, let's just roll this guy. 1 through 10. A number 4. Go away. Alright, so number 4 is Sarah J. Maas. And that's going to be a toughie, because there are some books I want to reread, and then there's books that I haven't read for her series yet. Hold on, guys. So the last book is going to be Charisma. This is going to be from a list of books that I want to or need to read, so again, I'm using my TBR and all that I already have. So number 7. Alrighty guys, for the final book for the Dungeons and Books is going to be What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. Again, I really hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I highly doubt it though. But yeah, so this is our final book on this particular TBR. Now comes the hard part, which is to roll a d6 and learn what book I'm not reading this month. Oh, I don't want to look. A 6. Never mind, I'm not reading What the River Knows. This one is a book I'm not allowed to read. Too sad. But that is unfortunate. It's fortunate, but it's not fortunate all at the same time, if that makes sense. Alright, so my chaotic evil read is this guy. These are all books that I have been working on. They're already on the TBR somewhere, so they all count as well. This is going to be hopefully not a very long video. Alright, so I have one more thing that I want to try and do. So I'm going to be trying something a little different. These are all the prompts that can only be used with one book per item, I guess it is. So what I'm going to do, and you'll see that these are all the white prompts. And actually I'm going to spin, and then this is going to be the prompt I'm focusing on first for HerKid 1.0, starting on the 7th. Oh, you hate me. I'm going to try and read a 500 plus page book in one day. Oh, you hate me. It hates me. It's a good thing I have multiple books. The 2.0 is I'm going to roll it again. Same thing as the 1.0. Is going to be the one I'm going to focus on first. My nonfiction challenge. I have no nonfiction this month. So I need to try and put some nonfictions in there. So this is the nonfiction here. We have to find books. I want to say it was 5 books with different subgenres. Check it off once it's done, and then it'll reflect on the tracker that it is done. So I don't have any nonfiction this month at all. So I'll be right back to find some good nonfictions. Alrighty guys, I have in my lap 5 nonfiction books that could potentially count for this challenge. One being Massage Basics by David Secchi. So again, this could count, the subgenre could be self-help, maybe? No, not self-help. I don't know what the subgenre would be, but I can find one. Sorry, didn't mean to hit my mic. The next one would be The Writer's Compass, From Story Map to Finished Draft in 7 Stages. Do I think that this might help me with my writing? Yes, I do. So, this one would definitely be under self-help. I want to say this would be kind of self-help, because you're helping yourself. So the next one is probably going to be a toss-up whether or not it's considered nonfiction, and that is Greek and Roman myths. Technically, the mythologies, depending on what your own personal beliefs are, this could be labeled as fiction, not nonfiction. Because this is a religion that is, and was, as far as I'm aware, it might actually still be practiced, but at least as far as it's a religion that was practiced in history, I'm considering it nonfiction. So it is a nonfiction read for mythology. The next one is one that I'm actually really like, and I bought like a year ago to read, and I never did. It's called Astronomy, an illustrated history of the universe, and basically this is everything we've found out about astronomy. It's not that, well, not everything, because look how small that is. But yeah, so it's just a book of astronomy. I absolutely love astronomy. My grandfather instilled that deep love into me, so hopefully I will be able to put this in, and yeah, I'm excited. And the final one is, again, a book I've never read. It is Harry Potter Film Wizardry. So this is from the creative team and of this Behind the Celebrated movie series. So all it is just information on how they did certain stunts, things like that. So basically it's going to take the magic out of the movies. Alright guys, so as you can see on the screen here, I have all of my potentials written in. Hopefully I finish them all, but we will see. I will of course keep you guys apprised of all that lovely fun stuff. But yeah, so anything that I have not read that I start reading after January 7th is also going to count towards HerKid 1.0 and 2.0. Unfortunately, anything that I had already read, anything that's a reread, or anything that I started reading prior to that will not count for either challenge, which means I have to find another book. Hold on, guys. Alrighty, guys, so my attempt at the read one book, my attempt at the read 500 page book in one day is going to be Inkheart There's 534 pages in this book. So many pages. And I have to do it in 24 hours. Obviously, the rules for this are going to be... Actually, let me check. I might be able to fudge them a little bit. It says, pick any book that is over 500 pages long and spend an entire day reading it. Yes, you may use audiobooks. You can even use graphic novels. Just as long as that page count says 500 or more, you are in the clear. So, one day. One day is 24 hours. I could just put a massive timer for 24 hours. That hurt my face. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully I can figure something out. It hates me. But at least it'll be out of the way if I do it early. So yeah. Herkid books. Potentially non-Herkid, potential Herkid books and non-Herkid books. It's a bit confusing. So yeah, that is the July TBR and the chaos that it has brought. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, technically 22, so 23 that I'm allowed to read, 24 if I include What the River Knows, because I'm not allowed to read that one according to my Dungeon of Books. Fortunately, a good chunk of these can also be moved over to the next month. So my Dungeon of Books, those 6 books, 5 books, and also these books right here can be moved throughout the month. Once I complete these particular challenges, I'm going to roll again. I will record that for you guys, and that way you guys can kind of keep abreast of what's going on. I'm also, Herkid 1.0 has a requirement for reviewing all the books that you read. It is also, it's not a requirement, but it is also gives you points. Again, I'll have a whole video just for Herkid 1.0 and 2.0 for reviewing them. So I'll be reviewing each book that I read for Herkid. I'm also going to be reviewing each book that I read anyway, that I've completed. DNFs will not be on this. But yeah, so thank you guys so much. Hopefully this video is not going to be nearly as long as it looks like it is, because I've been recording for over an hour. Oh boy. Alright, I will see you guys next time. Happy reading.